Elena Danaan, and I've been watching her channel doing phenomenal work, a friend of Beverly, and such a broad range of topics that you cover, all the different energies and what's going on outside of the earth, and your own personal story I was fascinated in as well. So perhaps, huge thank you for coming on, but perhaps for the viewers who are not familiar with you, maybe you could just tell us a little bit about your personal story and how you came to have this knowledge that you're sharing with us.
Thank you very much, Sean, for having me. And for those who don't know me, I'm archaeologist of profession, and I have been an extraterrestrial contactee since childhood. Physical exchanges and contacts and physical experience. I was abducted at the age 9 by grey aliens. As many people have been, many kids have been. And I was rescued in the process of this abduction by another group of ETs, tall, blonde, Nordic style as we know them. And hi, Beverly. And they rescued me and they kept contact with me all my life. I mean, physical contact, teleporting into my bedroom. And then when I was a bit older, teleporting me on board a ship. I went there so many times. They would show me the technology, let me play in the command seat, co-pilot seat, show me holographic maps of the stars with the location of different cultures, going for a ride around the earth. It was good fun until one day it became more serious, and they asked me if I want to work with them, passing on messages. So that is what I have been doing until now.
And Beverly, welcome.
Thank you, Sir Sean. Sorry, I was a little bit delayed. Apologies. Hello, Elena. Lovely to see you. And after all our chats, and lovely to see Sean again.
So my first question for you, Elena, is all around me right now, there's people having disputes, like people I work with, my associates, all like infighting. Other people outside of the internet that I know are all fighting each other. Is there some kind of malevolent force coming from? I know there was a huge coronal opening in the sun recently, but is there some kind of malevolent force coming from outside that's affecting people right now? I mean, are you guys experiencing this yourselves, that people around you are all feuding?
Well, the electromagnetic field of the human body is sensitive to the electromagnetic field of the planet Earth and also of the sun. When the sun rejects radiations or corona ejections, this sends a huge pulse of electromagnetic radiations toward the Earth. And the electromagnetic field that everything that is living and sentient on Earth is affected. And when people are already emotionally disbalanced, they would be affected emotionally and being triggered, so people can, in a more easy way, quickly fight, find conflict energy. But there's also something beside that. There's the deep state has been conducting operation to try to control people a little bit. That's a long topic.
Okay, Beverly, what have you got?
Well, I when I was having a look today, I did a lot of remote viewing and did a lot of sort of downloads of energies. And one of the key aspects was that there is a lot of the darker, or a lot of the issues where people have got like secrets or doing things that might not be quite right, or are not in the right frequency, and are trying to change themselves but haven't really fully committed to make that change. And a lot of that frequency now, we've just been trying to layer light on top of it. But now it's at a point where whatever that dredgy, horrible stuff, like the muddy stuff that's at the bottom of a pond, that's now coming up to the top. Because eventually what happens is it does need to rise, and it does need to be transmuted into light to a higher frequency. And that's where we are at the moment. There will be no more secrets, particularly for this year. All of the secrets will come out. And January is just the start of all of this stuff, all of these different aspects rising up to the top so that the light can transmute it. And the sun and other areas are sending down spikes of additional energy, most definitely, to be able to transmute that negative energy that is there. And particularly from Da'ar, because I had got a little bit concerned about it, because the people were sort of fizzing. They were actually fizzing with energy and everyone. I thought, oh my goodness, what's going on with everyone? And he said, when I was talking to him, he said, don't worry, there are spikes coming off the sun. There are other spikes, and there's other planetary realignment that's taking place, because as that muddy, murky energy from the bottom of the pond comes up, they were transmuting it with light.
Yeah, I was looking at the pictures of that coronal opening recently. It was flabbergasting how big it was. So, Elena, is there such a thing as malevolent extraterrestrials, and could they be making mischief on Earth right now?
Well, of course they are. There are beings in the whole universe who are also have their own agenda. Earth doesn't hold the monopoly of evil. The diversity of civilizations is unfathomable, and so there are people, whole civilizations, entire cultures sometimes, who follow the path of conquest or assimilation of other cultures. Sometimes inside of a balanced culture, you have individuals or little groupuscules who are going to do that. Malevolent extraterrestrials on Earth, no. They've all been kicked out in 2021, latest. So the only evil that now perdures on Earth are humans. Yeah. Human, I do not call them the elites. I call them the predator class. I think it's more appropriate.
It's a good word for them, Elena.
And does the predator class have some kind of alliance or energetical correspondence with the malevolents that are no longer here?
They were trained with them, they were working with them. Now they are, I compare them to a headless chicken that's just been slaughtered, just running for a while, it doesn't know where to go. They had this predator class had very tight ties with malevolent extraterrestrials. Two groups, actually three. There was the group of the Orion Greys, which had made a deal with the Majestic 12 in 1955 to conduct abductions of humans. And you had an older, like twin group, like there were two in one. Both were reptilians. So you had the Sikaar, or known as Alpha Draconians, and working with a dark faction of the Anunnaki led by a very, very old entity named Enlil, who was half reptilian himself. So this was dark, and I don't know if you want to go there in on your channel, but
well, you've got a question. You got a question about Enlil. What's the difference between Enlil and Enki? Some people still think Enki is a bad guy.
Yes, that's psychological operation for disinformation. So, who are they? They are Anahim. The Anahim, we know them as Anunnaki. They came from another universe or dimension very long time ago through the Bootes constellation. There was a vortex in there. Then they moved to the Sirius B star system, where they still are based as an empire. And Ki is a title, means the custodian of Ki. Ki was the name they gave to the earth. His real birth name was Ea. He was the firstborn of Emperor Anu, and he was half human. Well, he was half this type of race, particular race his father was, and half human and a human mother, because the Anahim, or Anunnaki as they are called, are not just one race. They are a compound of races. They are like a confederation of races. Ki, or Ea, was the firstborn, and he was someone who became versed into the alchemy and genetic sciences, and he was very, very, very into the love and the creator frequency, very tuned into the universe. On a second wedding, I would say, his father, the Emperor Anu, made a deal with the reptilian queen, a Sikar queen that had a big territory in the Orion zone, and he wanted the territory, so they had a deal, and they had to make a kid together. That was when Enlil, or Yuh, was born. Yuh is his real name, and Lil means the commander of the sky, the armies of the sky. So Lil was half Sikar reptilian. The Sikar are the Alpha Draconians, and he was really evil. He was raised by the Alpha Draconians, and he was at their service, at their command. And when the expedition, the great expedition on board the Nibiru ship, it's a ship, it's not a planet, arrived to Ki, or Earth, it was to take Earth. And the both half brothers were on board this mothership, and Lil wanted to enslave the humans they found, the primitive humans, and dumb them down. He asked Enki to do it, and Enki didn't want to. He said, no, it's not ethical, we're not doing that. So there was a bit of a fight. And so Enlil did it himself with his own laboratories and geneticists. In the meantime, Enki found that these humans were amazing. They had a potential that was spectacular. So he decided in secret to activate a bunch of them, activate the potential, true potential of their genetics. And that's when you had the project that we know as the Adamic bloodline, Adam and Eve. But then, and then the story continues. So Enki is really the one who has tried to protect humanity and supported them. But he wasn't a warrior, he wasn't a commander, so he eventually lost in 9600 BC. He lost, and he was cast out of the star system. And but he loves humanity. He's wonderful.
Beverly, anything to add there?
No, I'm absolutely in awe. Thank you so much, Elena. That's a really great answer.
Thank you.
So I've been looking at the trajectory of the God of Chaos asteroid, and the theory that something could set it off course and it could hit Earth in 2029. Do you have any information about that? Will it hit Earth? Will it stay on course and not hit Earth? Could the debris cause problems?
It will not hit Earth. There are many asteroids or threats coming from outer space, but we are well protected. We have off-world organizations in motherships in the star system and a few around the Earth, in orbit of Earth. They are deflecting all projectiles. So there will not be anything hitting Earth. There's a lot of fear porn that is engineered, by the enemies of humanity, as we can say. But that's not going to happen.
No.
Okay,
absolutely, definitely not.
We got a question from Michael, but let me just tell everyone. So Elena's links are in the description box. So if you want to go over and support her work, I'll put them in the live chat. But let me get this question out first. Michael, Elena, can you talk about the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the ship that is in our solar system at the moment?
Sure. The Galactic Federation of Worlds was created after the Orion Wars by a Pleiadian group allied with Sirius B people, the Tashkeru. They create this organization to look after the balance of peace in the galaxy. But it started as a military organization, So they are now very, very big and looking after a lot of worlds and cultures. What was the second part of the question about them that this person asked? Sorry.
The ship that is in our solar system at the moment.
Sorry. They have several ships in the solar system. There are 4 in orbit of Earth, of the Galactic Federation of Worlds at the moment. And there are a few after the Oort cloud at the periphery of the star system. Same as another organization, the Intergalactic Confederation. They have the same amount of ships in orbit of Earth, and India are Oort, after the Oort cloud. They are a military organization, the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and I want really to stress the point that it is not a spiritual, ethereal organization. It's real, biological, physical beings of different species. And there has been just a psyop going on in the New Age community, unfortunately, that was created to confuse people and to invent a fake federation that they call the Galactic Federation of Light. And like, people must be aware that this is not a real thing.
Yeah, false information, because you can't federate light, actually, at the end of the day. So
very good.
So Susan's wondering whether the Predator class is part alien or human.
Many of them are part aliens. These are issued from the 13 families, as we call them, the 13 evil families. Well, who are they? They are descended from the bloodline of Enlil and the half reptilian bloodline. So they have reptilian genetics in them. So they are easily controllable by emotions. They have less empathy, and they are really manipulable by the forces darker that were behind. Yes, so they are descendant from reptilian ETs.
So the next question is, who created all of the dimensions and why?
I love these questions. Great questions for the audience. There is something that is called creator source. It's a singularity. This is shooting constantly fractals of itself out into the physical universe, multiverse, and offshoots of its consciousness. And these little seeds are going to embody matter. It can be biological beings, it can be plasma beings floating in space, it can be planets with an electromagnetic field. Anything that has a pulse is able to receive a seed of consciousness. So this is how life expands, like how the universes are created. From this singularity that is infinite inwards and infinite outwards are created bubble universes. You know, when you look at the flower of life, this pattern, well, this is a flat representation of what it is in 3 dimensions. It's bubbles and intricate in one another. And these bubbles are each a universe or a dimension. And this is expanding infinitely, infinitely.
Question from Deborah. Can alien beings use dreams to talk to us?
Yes, exactly. Yes. You need first to have a quantum entanglement or a contact. No, usually the alien beings who enter in contact with you have already been in contact with you in the past. They may be from your soul family, sometimes it happens, people are not from here. And or you have seen once a ship in the sky and you felt a connection happening with consciousness. And really, after, it always works. You have dreams and they can communicate with you.
So Michael's saying, can you talk about what is happening on Mars? Is the human colonies and other species?
What's happening on Mars is a great plan of re-terraforming of Mars to bring Mars back to when it was a more habitable planet with oceans, nature, plants, everything. And there is a program of cooperation between humans from Earth, humans from Mars, who are there for a long time, and Alpha Centaurian, actually, who are building biodomes and creating fertile soil from all the technology they are bringing to welcome new colonies from Earth that are being these projects are being prepared actually, and someone very famous, I don't know if we can name names, is preparing to send big rockets directly to Mars.
Wow. Wow. I think this super chat question's coming. I think this is for you, Beverly, because I'm not 100% sure what the person's referring to. So Denise is saying, I sent my video first with no explanation because super chat wouldn't allow my video. The video is above my house this past summer 2024. I was wondering if you could tell me what I saw. This is Denise Lynn. Has Denise Lynn previously spoke to you about a video or something?
Yeah, I think it was one of the ones where, if that's the right one we received, because we do get a lot of videos, it was from her video doorbell, and the video doorbell had a picture of the sky, if it's the right one I'm thinking of, and it was in summer 2024, and it was of a craft in the sky that very early hours of the morning, I think it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it had moved across, and there was a number of frames. I think there was 4 or 5 different videos sent from the video doorbell, which was set up to start recording the moment it was seeing some sort of movement, which was very useful. And there was a craft moving across the sky. It did look like it was one of our types, one of the ones that are re-engineered human types of crafts, because of the type. It was more of a triangular one, which appears to be the types that have been created here on Earth. And it wasn't moving in a way that if I was to see Da'ar's craft, it comes and goes in a totally different way. Plus, it has a way in which it can move up and down sides all over, and it has a very strange fluorescent colored lights with it. Whereas the craft that was on the doorbell wasn't like that. It was a very straight line, and it was 3 lights. So I would like to get Elena's comment on that. I think it was one of our human re-engineered ones.
Well, I would need to see a photo or have more details, but I totally follow what you say, Beverly.
Okay.
And thank you, Denise, for the super chat, and also Millicent for the super chat. And the question is it true there's a mothership in the Gulf of Mexico right now and more about to show themselves?
The motherships, they move around the Earth. They are not on locked locations. There are 8 motherships in the orbit of Earth at the moment. 4 from the Galactic Federation of Worlds and 4 from the Intergalactic Confederation, plus plenty of other ships. They have stealth technology, so you can't always see them. They are going to show themselves more and more, these ships and these star people. It is part of the plan of disclosure. The star people are in charge of showing their ships more and more in the sky. And you just have to look up day and night and just wait and be confident. You will see them. I can promise you.
Denise, sorry. Are some Pleiadians hybrids with Anunnaki? I feel they sold us humans out in treaties with Eisenhower, etc., as Earth was like the Las Vegas of the galaxy, and they liked humiliating humans.
No, the Anunnaki or Anarim were not involved in the Eisenhower treaties. The only faction of Anunnaki that was on Earth at that time, since the Younger Dryas event, 9600 BC, was the dark faction of Enlil, and they surely didn't make any agreements with the Eisenhower administration. So then the Pleiadian hybrids made by the dark faction of Enlil, maybe, probably, but anything that was to do with Enlil never made any agreements with Eisenhower. Eisenhower made an agreement of protection with the Galactic Federation of Worlds in 1954.
Anything to add, Beverly?
No, that's absolutely right. It was mainly of protection. There was a time and a period of time where the Earth was on the no-fly zone, but now it's been removed from the no-fly zone because the negative reptilians and others have been removed from the surface and underground. So yes, there was a lot of changes that have happened over the last few years, significant changes, and continue to change.
Which ties into Sharon's question. Now that the negative reptilian Orions are off our Earth, will the energy of human predators dwindle away, hopefully, and disempower them into submissions and stop the derogation towards others?
Yes, they have lost so much power since their alien overlords have been kicked out. They are on their own, losing not only their support. And the support was not only technological, These reptilian alien overlords were also versed very much into high magic. And so they've lost that support as well. This predator class now has lost also the human resources they were hunting on Earth. They have less and less of these human resources who are rescued, and trafficking is being progressively stopped.
Yeah. Transporting has been stopped.
Transporting.
Yeah.
And they've also lost access to some substances they used to take to feel better.
Gotcha. Okay. We've got a question from MG, and the question is, what can you tell us about portals and areas where energy seems to be projected from elsewhere, sending dark entities out?
So that is really, really possible. All the portals have been put under control recently. But a portal can absolutely send out, when it's open and locked on the location on the other side, anything that want to go through, But I wouldn't say there is any danger now. The danger would be to open new portals via technology or even magic. You can do that as well. That would be the only concern. But, when a portal opens in the fabric of space-time, it creates a frequency. And this is monitored. These frequencies are monitored by the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So they instantly try to locate it and get it to close.
Sue's wondering, how were the undesirable off-worlders removed from Earth?
This operation began in 2017. So the heat and the height of it in 2020, and was practically over in 2021, end of 2021. And mid of 2022, it was really, that's it. It's finished. How it happened? You had simultaneous operations. The biggest one was the cleansing or the clearing of the underground, deep underground military bases, where you had all these facilities that were holding despicable human experiments, people locked in there. I try to avoid some words.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Okay. So all these operations to liberate these places, it was done in a very clever way. They would lock big places and then walk towards the center. That was it was a horrendous war. And parallel to that, you had an older operation that had been ongoing since the 1950s. It was the infiltration by good people from sometimes ETs, sometimes humans, infiltration of the dark organizations by agents that would be untraceable for the moment when the moment would come, they would do their job. They would, expose what has been going on in these organizations, or stop some bad things to happen. And and a war in the solar system as well, parallel, has been going on, and at the same dates.
So we got a question from Bob. Should we be experimenting with CERN, which is the nuclear thing, isn't it?
CERN, CERN is passing into good hands, so we shouldn't worry. They're going to change the purpose of their experiments. The experiments at the start were scientific purpose, but it has been really used by dark people, I would say, for trying to open portals and create the fabric of space-time. But they manage a little bit, but now these operations, of course, have stopped, and the CERN is shifting positively.
So Ash is wondering your thoughts on the extreme weather in the USA. I think that's referring to the fires and stuff.
Weather engineering is real. It's a weapon, and the deep state, I would say the predator class, has in their hands weapons that can do that, technologies that can do that are located on Earth with certain it's like cannons that send frequencies into the clouds and can really change the winds in the clouds. But the most effective are from certain satellites that are stealth, and that the good guys are trying to destroy them. Weather engineering, and well, what happened in the west of the United States recently, that was horrendous. Yes, it was. So that, let's say, to California, that wasn't weather engineering. It was direct energy weapon technology.
We've got a question from John Ray, and viewers, we're backed up by 100 questions right now, which is a testament to Elena's popularity on the channel. There's probably no way we're gonna. It's gonna be a situation where we end up with hundreds of unanswered questions. I apologize in advance, folks, but do keep the questions coming in, and you'll have a chance of getting in there. So, John Ray, I would love to know your thoughts on this. I plan on grounding on the Planetary Alignment Day, which is in 6 days' time, apparently.
Yes.
And have you ever heard of OMUS, aka monoatomic gold?
Yes. So it is very, very good to ground yourself into the core of the earth through your feet and feel your being like throwing roots in the ground towards the center of the earth, and expand your branches towards these lines of planets, and you will be a bridge, and you will benefit of all this gravity pull that will strengthen your magnetic field in an extraordinary way. You can really do that, and I recommend. It's a fantastic experience. Monoatomic gold is a substance that is derived from gold, and it is something that is activating your cells and doing a lot of good at decluttering DNA. So depending on the genetics of people, it works more or less, So I would say if you have since you have the Adamic bloodline DNA, it works wonders. That's what I wanted to say.
Well
All
done.
right, so Nancy's saying, how are ETs able to dismantle bombs that could cause catastrophe for the whole universe? Do they masquerade as part of the government to learn their nefarious plans?
So you have all these organizations that are infiltrated already. So plants leak first, and then when a device is operational, and maybe a missile, atomic missile, nuclear missile is shot, launched, the off-worlders have a technology with frequency to shoot at it. It's invisible, but it's like direct energy weapon, but really with a specific frequency signal that is able to enable the navigation disable the navigation of the missile or the technology, or just break it.
Deborah, will the first part of the disclosure plan happen in 2025 and end in 2027?
So it has already started by the different whistleblowers that are coming out, the ships in the sky that are visible. And we have actually an amazing show, 1,000 witnesses in Denver, Colorado in September, 27th of September with the Denver J6. It was quite incredible, 1,000 witnesses, TR-3Bs, fleets. That has started, and a lot of people now are seeing all these orbs of different types, those cigar-shaped ships. It has started now. Between 2025 and 2027 is supposed to be the great reveal of the existence of the reality of extraterrestrial civilizations, not only in the sky, but also as living among us.
Claire's asking, I've had a few dreams of spaceships engaging in battles close to Earth. Was that some kind of sign?
That has happened, yes. That has happened in 2021. There was a big, huge war in the solar system where the moon, then Mars, were liberated, yes.
So Michael is wondering about the arcs on Earth and the activation at the moment.
So the arcs, what are they? They are ancient spaceships left by the Intergalactic Confederation a very long time ago. It can be sometimes millions of years ago. These arcs are asleep. They are living beings. This technology is 20,000 years in advance on your technology. And they are interfacing consciousness to matter, to technology. So these arcs are living beings asleep. And, they are living out of time. So for them, time is nothing. When the people who made these arcs came back into our star system in October 2021, the Intergalactic Confederation, with the specific group of 24 different cultures that are a scientific group, the Seeders of Life, there were 500 ships that arrived in the star system, and the frequency of it, the magnetic field and the frequency activated by resonance all the arcs that were in the star system, the solar system, since always. So the activation occurred at that moment. And many people who are star seeds from this extraterrestrial particular group felt it as well. They felt suddenly this activation, this wave coming through them, and all the arcs activated at that time. There are no more arc activating now. It's already occurred in 2021.
So Enchanted Realm is asking, is it possible for some reptilians to still come in via the astral or fourth density?
Yes, it is possible. These, if they come by portals that are open recently, quickly they can do it, but they would come rather from, I would say, another dimension or passing by another dimension, because the star system now is protected, is locked. You can't go in, you can't open a portal. But if you shift to another dimension and you try to come through another dimension, you can manage to get your way in, but they are neutralized instantly because it sends a frequency pulse and it's detected and sorted instantly. You have reptilians, you know, there are different types. You have also reptilians from inner Earth. It's different, yeah, but it's possible.
So, Sharon, when someone is connected to the source and galactically, aka created a bridge, does this possibly create a possibility for telepathic off-world communication?
Oh, yes. So we are all bridges to a creator source. We just need to go within and activate our own frequency. And then this frequency, this seed of core frequency, is the same frequency as creator source. We are bridges. This enables us to be in tune with the whole creation. Now, concerning telepathically communicating with other biological beings, you need to have already an entanglement with them. May they be from your star family, or may they be people you've already met physically and had an interaction. Then it's really possible. Otherwise, if you do not have this interaction, you can use technology.
Okay, I saw Danny put a question in, but it's a medical hospital one, so we're going to avoid subjects like that. And people are asking about contacting you directly as well. So in the description box, we've got Elena's YouTube channel, website, Twitter, and Amazon link for the book. So if you guys want to follow up, there's loads down there. All right, so Mike, I'll put some in the live chat as well now. So Michael, can you talk about the Cedars and where are we coming from really?
The Cedars, who are this group of 24 different cultures, scientific group, came to Earth 65 million years ago. They are seeding life in the galaxy. They are under the management of 9 supra-consciousnesses that they call the 9, who live in the void between the universes. And they assist Creator in repairing, sometimes when a planet has been attacked or ransacked, or there's been a cataclysm. They are going to reseed life with the very being that correspond to the planet. They have a database of a bank of seeds. It's amazing. So they went to Earth they came to Earth 65 million years ago. They found that Earth was already conquered by a reptilian species. So they had a bit of a fight with them. They reset the planet, long story short. And they said, okay, now we are going to kickstart the planet as it was at its origin, giving life a chance as it should have been. And that's how they boosted the evolution of human. That would have happened, but they like to do experiments as well, So they took this little lemur creature, ancestor creature, and they worked on it. And with time, a long time, respecting the development, of life, they injected at the time, they injected 11 different genomes from their groups into this creature. And then later on, other ETs mingle with that. But so we are we are 1%, from Earth, but we have this 11 intergalactic genetics, everyone. And then we have other genetics that have come in the way, reptilian, Pleiadians, Vega, Alpha Centaurians, or so many. And sometimes it can go up to 22 or 24 even.
I don't think people appreciate the infinite improbability of our existence, of all of those things coming together to make us what we are. We would be, wow, I'm alive kind of thing if we understood and appreciated that more. I think we just take it for granted.
Yeah, because we've got over 300,000 Goldilocks planets out there. That Goldilocks planet, in other words, a type of planet that can easily sustain human life. And that's just the start of it. There are far more planets out there. That there's all sorts of beings and individuals that have been contacting Earth for many, many years.
Right, you got a question from Lakey33. What would the white orb be that saved me from a full-on spiritual attack? The orb grabbed my hand, made me chant, then I fell back on my bed and saw a big black shadow walk through the wall.
That's totally the technology from the Intergalactic Confederation. So you must have friends out there. Probably your soul is from one of their worlds. That would explain to me that an orb came to save you, protect you. What are these orbs? It's plasma, animated plasma. They are remote action devices that are operated from a ship normally or from a secret base. And they are it's funny because they make the orb made physical contact with you and ask you to chant your own frequency, and that kicked out the intrusion that you had. So that was a very interesting, great experience.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I've had an NDE. There were 4 grey figures surrounded me. Why?
Oh, when you have an NDE, you can see your soul family. May they be from Earth, from other planetary matrices, it can be anything. Angelic figures belonging to the realms of Earth I don't know. That kind of
So
thing.
Cal, here's your question. I found it. I've scrolled back through all the questions. I saw you in the chat again. All right. When I first got into meditation, I have seen reptilian eyes. I then land in a liquid gold room. Is this a warning or is it good? I always feel elated. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. I suppose this wasn't a recent experience, maybe from last year. That's I see totally Anunnaki and Lil faction group that would try to entice you to join them. The Anahim have this resonance, genetic resonance with gold and monatomic gold, especially, and this can be used in magic as well. Maybe I don't know why they wanted you. Yeah, that's a bit freaky. Yeah.
So, Yvonne, Elena, did Otherworlders Galactic Commander Thor stop a bombing that was supposed to go off to cause a tsunami in the USA?
I haven't heard about that, so I don't know. But they constantly try to stop the weather manipulation. But so how, as I was explained, you can't stop a hurricane like this. Well, they can actually, they can even kick a planet off orbit. But if they do that, if you stop a hurricane, the brutal disturbance in the weather pattern that you create is worse. So you have to send frequencies to calming down the winds, to slow down the winds until it organically calms down. It's very, very tricky.
Okay, next one then is, how big are orbs? Do they come in all shapes and sizes? Because my sister was told by a medium that she had baby orbs around her, but she couldn't see them.
You have 2 categories of orbs. The orbs who are, we haven't spoke about this one, from the spirit realms. It means when you have ghosts or even deceased people who are on the other side, or even animals, they come and visit you. They can manifest like orbs, and these are the small tiny orbs you see on the photographs sometimes, and it can be also fairies or elementals. So these would be from higher densities of existence on Earth. And then you have the extraterrestrial physical technologies that we call orbs as well, which are remote action devices or drones. They have two types, metallic or plasma. Metallic, it's the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and all spherical, okay, orbs, of course. And plasma, transparent luminescence, it's the Cedars Intergalactic Confederation.
You touched on drones there. So before the next question then, what about all this stuff that happened in America recently with the drones? What was going on there?
As I told you, there's a disclosure plan from our ET friends about showing more and more ET technologies in the sky. So these are these metallic orbs or these plasma orbs that you can see. There's been a display, an amazing display. And to counteract this disclosure, the Predator class, I would say, has decided to, of course, as they always do, they try to drown the truth, that's a funny, to drone with drones. that's one. Drone the information with drones. That's interesting. And they send all these military little drones, but you can see the difference. I mean, you can see the difference. It's like classical drones, like metallic bits, and to really swarm the skies with it and said, no, it's not ETs, it's another country wanting to attack us, and they have their own agenda, mind you. If it was really another country attacking and sending all these orbs, do you think that NORAD wouldn't have shot them down in seconds? It's because it's military made these other drones to hide the extraterrestrial disclosure.
So Claire is wondering, I was visited 3 times by small greys, but was saved by a white hand. What could it be?
White hand. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a bit of what has happened to me, Small greys were the little workers of the tall greys, and they were also used by the Earth military. We don't talk a lot about these programs, but the Earth military has been conducting also abductions using small gray clones, because they're not always biological, it's very rare, synthetics, to make people believe they are abducted by ETs, and then they brought into military underground bases. There's a lot of people under hypnosis who remember being abducted in a spaceship by greys, and then they wake up underground and there are militaries everywhere. So and there's also this there's been this abduction agenda also by the real ETs that has been happening since 1955 to create a race of hybrids to replace humans. That's a long story. You may have been abducted by either the real greys or either the military, but rescued. And you see a white hand. These are the type of Nordic beings from the Galactic Federation of Worlds who had this big plan to rescue the abductees as much as they could. So you were one of the lucky ones like me.
So Bob is saying, Elena, what is the long-term aim with humans and planet Earth?
Long-term aim? I'm not sure I understand the question, but I would say that the future of Earth is amazing. I was shown it. I was shown this future. Humanity will develop as a prosperous civilization and become more and more numerous, more and more will expand towards the stars, on different colonies on other planets and on Earth. The quality of the air, the nature will be restored. Many cities will be mostly floating, like anti-gravity cities, so the soil and the earth can repair. It's going to be prosperous, and the earth is going to enter a new era of peace by becoming a planetary federation of countries, a bit like in Star Trek, but less military than Star Trek. It will be wonderful.
Here's one for Beverly from Agent Orange. Were you able to take a look at Matilda O'Donnell McElroy notes she left behind?
I haven't been able to yet, Agent Orange. I was looking at Trump and Elon Musk and a couple of other things, which is what took most of the weekend. But I will definitely, I've got it in my notes. I do still have it from the other night, so I will have a look at it for sure.
Let's give you this one as well, Bev, while you're up there, from Michelle. When I was about 2 years old, there was a black shadow that used to stand at the end of the bed. I used to move over my mom or dad, but the shadow would follow. Any idea what that could be?
I get a lot of these similar comments from individuals, but because it was just a shadow and it followed you and it actually didn't do anything at all, and you were very young, age of 2, and it was just a shadow standing at the end of the bed. It is a very common story to hear from individuals that there is something just standing at the end of the bed and not doing much. So I think it could have been either somebody who had already moved into another dimension, or it might have been someone who is acting as a messenger from another dimension, but certainly nothing, I think nothing untoward particularly. And as it followed you and did absolutely nothing other than stand there, it looks like it was a benevolent type of being. Not all beings that come that are dark shadows are with some sort of nefarious intent. Not all of them.
All right. So Elena, here's a question from Sue. Once we cross over to the spiritual realms, will we still interact with the off-worlders? And if so, in what capacity?
Oh, that's a great question. You will be able to interact with people who are from the same soul group if you are from another planetary matrix. That will be possible, yes.
Yep.
Anything to add, Beverly?
No, it's exactly the same. And as we're starting to rise and becoming a hybrid race ourselves, especially starting this
Hybrid
year.
race? Sorry.
That's all right. That's very interesting. Then what we find is that we would be able to interact with a lot of the off-worlders, and a lot of them do start to interact with us before we start moving into the other dimensions too.
Is Elon Musk part of the Federation?
Well, before answering that, I didn't understand really what Beverly was saying about. Did you mention hybrid race?
No, hybrid race. No, we're starting to hybridize our DNA. Our DNA is awakening. No, we know they are very naughty creatures. No,
naughty.
Yes, we are hybridizing our DNA because we're awakening. Oh, bless you.
We will have a lot of fun hybridizing away with other races and cultures. That's going to be good fun.
Yeah, we will. We've got enough fun on our plates, I
think. Thoughts on Elon Musk, and is he part of the Federation?
He's working with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Yes.
Yeah, that's the same information that I received as well. Is he has a particular job to do on his soul path, and actually we're going to do a soul plan for Elon Musk, and we're going to do one for old Trumpy Poo as well. We'll do another one for Trump, and we'll actually get the person that's doing it. Her name is Tia. I've already asked her to do the 2 soul plans and then come and tell us what they found in the soul plan for these 2 individuals who were both emperors in their past lives.
Wow. Odie dokie. Okay.
Okie dokie, how cute.
What does it mean when you are talking to someone And when looking in the eyes, you see white, like a soul, and they see the same in your eyes.
So okie dokie, thank you for the super chat. Okie dokie sent us a super chat, which is why this one came through, just to let you know.
Thanks.
You see their light, you see their soul, their true being, because there is an interconnection between you both. You are on the same frequency, so you can see each other. Your two hearts beat at the same pulse frequency. So that happens, and it's very beautiful when it happens.
Okay, so as predicted, we've gone over 100 questions backlogged. So if you want a chance of your question getting answered, just keep putting it in the chat. You're going to stand more of a chance of catching, getting it on the screen. All right, so Michael is wondering, can you educate the people about what is under the pyramids of Giza?
Oh, yeah, there's a complex, underground complex that is actually like a labyrinth that is very vast, that really links to the oasis of the Fayum and even stretches to Siwa under the desert. It's amazing that the tunnels, they go very far, actually. Well, under the pyramid of Giza, the pyramids of Giza by themselves, there are halls of records that are on several levels and that contain extraterrestrial technologies that was saved from Atlantis before it collapsed, before it was destroyed. There is also a spaceship buried there that is not able to work anymore, but it has some technology that is contained in there. So there are a lot of things.
Michelle gets a different feeling looking at blue-gray eyes. Is she picking up on different genetics?
Surely, you know, the eye color is regarding certain genes, so probably.
Yes.
Robin is wondering if we are in a frequency match with someone else. Can your head tingle and buzz gently?
Oh yes, oh yes. that joins what the question about the white light. Yes. You feel the tingles inside, even in the chest. You know, having butterflies in the chest, that's exactly what it feels. It's a frequency tickles inside. It's amazing.
Renee is wondering if there are ships above Table Mountain, and if so, what are they?
Yep, I've seen them.
Why are they there? Sorry.
Yeah,
I do not have these informations. I just know there are ships a bit everywhere at the moment.
Yeah,
moving.
There's lots above Table Mountain, as I lived in Cape Town for many years and have seen them and hiked up there and ended up got sent back and got stuck in the center of Table Mountain in a very big cave, which was very interesting, and had to crawl out the other side of the cave up onto the ledge, which was hundreds and hundreds of feet above the ground. And I was petrified. We had to get out, and was what they call an A-grade climb or something, whatever that means. And they had to get people to come up and rescue us, which was very, very interesting. So yes, to Table Mountain.
So Lorraine is wondering, what can we do to enhance our inner light to help our awakening?
Very, very good question, because it contains already the answer in it. To awaken, what it is about. It is about becoming more aware of who you are and of your potential. What do I mean by potential? It's your ability to alter and model the matrix of reality, the holographic structure of reality around you with your soul intention. To be able to activate this potential is to be able to raise your frequency. How do you raise your frequency? There are different techniques, but the easiest is by doing it consciously, laughing. It sounds ridiculous, but if you find your happy place and you try to laugh as much as you can, and being in a place where you're happy, or imagine something or someone that you love so much, be in this frequency of love and beam it. All of this raises your frequency. Also, seeing positively, all of this is going to really help you to activate your potential. little tricks, little tips.
Thank you. So Danny sent a question in. Hi, Danny. And it is there a space ark underneath the Nazca lines in Peru? And what are the egg-shaped craft JP disclosed? Who is JP?
Okay, I haven't heard about an arc, extraterrestrial arc under the Nazca lines in Peru. This whole area was had visits from extraterrestrials in the past. That's why they did all these lines on the mountain to remember the ancient gods who were there, to try to get them back to come back. I'm not sure that there is an arc underneath. I don't have this information anyway. Now, the egg-shaped craft. Yes, I know what Danny Henderson, founder of JSIC, said when she mentions this. It's because today there's a new whistleblower, an helicopter pilot who made the news. He disclosed that he was involved in a crash retrieval program a long time ago with the army to retrieve a UFO that was in the shape of an egg and white. And there's even a video of it, hard evidence that went out. JP is US Army insider whistleblower that is very known, notably if you look at Dr. Michael Sala's channel and read his books, he's been in contact with him. He's going on missions still off-world and in inner Earth. And he has documented it was in 2016, that he received a visit of someone from another planet in one of these craft, and he described it, even designed a visual of it. White metallic egg shape. So in 2016, and JP and myself know each other. We are friends, and we happen to have simultaneous memory recall of these white egg shaped craft. That's a long story, but and now we have a proof in the news.
Let's just read this one out. Thank you, John Ray. I just want to thank you. Your information has answered a lot of questions I've had since I was a child. I love all of your souls, and hi, Mary.
Thank you very much.
And then we got a question here from Maramali. Is Uluru the heart, and does it directly connect to the pyramids and other places? Love to all.
What I know, I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about Uluru. I know it's one of the chakras of the earth, a very important one, and it connects to other chakras of the planet by not by the undergrounds, but by the electromagnetic grid of the earth, with the ley lines, notably. So it's a very powerful place, very, very powerful.
Lisa's asking, how many off-worlders are there in South Africa? What are they observing? The place is toxic and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
There is a presence of Alpha Centaurians and Proxima Centauri people in South Africa. They have bases there. They are the purpose of their presence there. There are bases everywhere, especially under the oceans and on many continents. So I don't know exactly the purpose why they are there, but I can attest it's Proxima Centauri and Alpha Centauri.
And there's others there as well. Also, just for that South African comment, because I lived there for over 30 years, there is a lot underneath Groot Karoo and Klein Karoo. So that's the large Karoo and the small Karoo, which is as you as the bird flies, it would be a corridor. Underneath there's also very large, deep underground military bases, which I have seen. And then further up, as you move upwards towards the Chimanimani Mountains, the Mauni Mountains have had a lot of sightings and a lot of activity where they've actively engaged in either discussions or alternatively in trying to remove some of those types of tribes or off-world beings. It seems to be, since Credo Mutwa, who was the Zulu leader, one of the Zulu leaders who I've lived with for a long time, we did see a lot of activity across the mountains. And we realized that there were different types of beings coming down to South Africa in different areas in order to remove some of the castes that were not particularly good, including reptilians and others. But there was a lot of activity across the small and large Karoo area. It seems to be the area that happens most of the crashes that then get removed and sent to America and other areas quite frequently.
I sorry, but I recommend to read this book, Beyond the Light Barrier, from Elizabeth Clare. It's a true story. It happens on the mountain you named, Beverly, and this woman met with an extraterrestrial from planet Neptune, Alpha Proxima Centauri, and it's really a must read. Yes.
Yes, she was so lovely. I knew her very well when I lived out there before she passed away. And her daughter, Elizabeth Clara, and I go back many, many, many years. And I'd been to see her up in the Drakensberg and to her farm, and that we had the similar types of horses and everything. So yes, it is a very, very good read. That's the new print. The one I have is obviously the old one, because I'm an old person, and that's why we knew each other so well, because we were of a similar age.
So Disco Tina, who's definitely not under the influence of malevolent beings, wants you to know how much she loves you. And and Terry is asking for the name of the Xena woman. I don't know how to pronounce the last word. Ganymede?
Ganymede, yeah.
Xena women on Ganymede. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
All right, let me go to one of the 127 pending questions. Mama Dukes. Dr. Greer said it's all coming out around the 21st of January. So what are your thoughts on that?
21st of January is a shift in the history of Earth, because we're really anchoring the new trajectory of humanity as a planetary civilization. I think it's a dawn of a new period of prosperous period for humanity.
However, I don't really agree with Dr. Greer saying that it's all coming out on the 21st. I think there'll be some snippets, but I don't believe it will be all, because we're not all totally ready yet. We need to vibrate slightly higher. So I think 21st might come and go, but as Elena says, there's lots of other good things happening on that date, but I don't think there'll be full disclosure on the 21st of January.
No, it's a political inauguration, and that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Karen is asking, are there Earth human ambassadors among the Galactic Federation currently living off-world?
There are no Earth humans ambassadors of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, because the Earth is not member of the Galactic Federation of Worlds yet. I am an emissary. I cannot be an ambassador. Emissary is the one who passes messages to the civilians. An ambassador is someone who works at a government level, but the government needs to have agreements, and it's not. If there are Earth ambassadors, it would be at an Earth government level. People involved in the high ranks of hierarchies of, around presidents and stuff, white hats, of course. But that would be not really an ambassador position, like, I don't know.
So Terry is wondering about the name of the Xenu woman you met on Ganymede, who escorted you to Una.
The Xenu woman. that I think there's a bit of a mix. Una is a lady from the Intergalactic Confederation that who lives on a spaceship near to Ganymede. So Zenu, I do not know what. Sorry, there must be confusions for something else.
That's okay. Got one for Beverly here, but first let me just read this one from Indiana Farm Girl. Thank you. Love all the content from Sean and Beverly. Elena is so special. Thank you. And Heather, Beverly, I booked a session with you last Monday, but haven't received a conf. Sorry to reach out, just concerned. Love you all. So when will Heather get a confirmation?
You get a confirmation. The system that I have does an automatic update 24 hours before the booking is due to take place. You get a Zoom link, and it gets checked to make sure that the Zoom link goes out. And if it doesn't, what happens is when I go into the booking, I go into Zoom, and then I send an invite to ask you to come and join me in the Zoom room.
All right. And Wenky is asking, do you know if ET is in Norway and what type?
I know there are probably an ET base in Norway, but I do not know more about it. There's so many everywhere. Sorry.
Enchanted Realm, recently coming to realize that things we think of or talk about appear instantly in 4D. Will we be learning or being taught how to harness this?
Yes. The way of manifesting your consciousness into reality as solid matter is done with using the activation of your pineal gland. That's where it happens. So you need to, through meditation, go within yourself after cutting with the outside, meet who you are, merge with your frequency, and then manifest a thought and send it out in a holographic way outside. Like you create this thought, this project from all directions, and you make it something in volume, and you imprint it with your intention in reality. And if you do that repetitively, you will manifest it, and it will be created. So that's how you do it.
So Jean Ray is asking, how did you get selected to assume such a fantastic role as an ambassador?
So as I explained, I'm not ambassador because I do not work at government level. It was something that was decided before I came incarnate here. It's part of my mission, the mission I've chosen.
Nick is wondering, has talking to Gerard helped you look at life through a different lens? And how did you turn your life around?
Who is Gerard?
Oh, Nick, you're going to have to expand on that in the live chat, please.
I don't know any Gerard.
All right. So Avina is asking, are upper density physical humanoid beings so hot because they create their physicality, or is it genetically anchored? Wow.
Good question.
So what you mean, like good looking, I suppose? That's what there are a lot of life forms who vibrate at higher rate of frequency. They're not all human. They can have many different forms. But then you talk about genetics and all these things. When you are in a different frequency of existence, you are solid. You are solid in every density. But to people who live in different densities, you are seeing like as invisible or transparent or translucent. But when you are in the same density, it's solid. And the genetics can be really, really diverse, So that would be my answer.
Okay. Let me go to the next one second. Can we get to the moon at the drop of a dime?
We've been going to the moon regularly with secret technologies used in the secret space programs, with notably ships like TR-3Bs, who are now on the verge of being disclosed. We have bases on the moon already, you know, so we can go in.
I'm sorry, keep going.
It's okay. Finish.
All right, so Terry's asking, this question keeps coming up. They definitely want to get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm pronouncing these things. Zenati woman from the Titawin system, Zenian.
Yes.
She was beautiful, and she escorted you into a woman where Una was working.
I don't think it was me. Because I never met any Zenate people.
So all these people asking this question, can you please show us? I don't know if it's a video. Where's your receipts? What are you talking about, guys? Show us what you're referring to. If you can send it in, and we can look at it, and we can get to the bottom of this.
Yes, there must be a misunderstanding in the name, or
Are the mantis good?
So what we call the mantis, they are not originally from this galaxy. They come from a galaxy that we call Sombrero, and they are interdimensional beings. There are different types. There are usually 3 types of them, 3 categories. There are green, black, and white mantids. They are highly telepathic, and good or bad, they don't have these ethics, this way of apprehending the consciousness. They are curious. They want to study other species, other races, and they're not very aware of the notion of ethics as we are. So sometimes they will work with a dark group of extraterrestrials doing nasty experiments, or sometimes they will work with, for instance, the Galactic Federation of Worlds. They are individuals, although some can be linked by what we call an interface consciousness. It's nearly like a hive, but you keep your individuality. So I wouldn't say they are bad, they are good. They fit everywhere, I would say.
So Tetra, do our eyes function as cameras? Can we review our life in this way?
Yes. Yes, totally. What you see is imprinted somewhere in your soul memory. You can.
Okay. Will the people from Terra visit the hub before 2030?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. Is Jesus Yeshua an angel?
No, he was an extraterrestrial soul in the body of a human, a special genetic of humans. He was a descendant from the Adamic bloodline, but he wasn't a real angel.
Which brings me to a question. We've had Paul Wallace on. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he talks about...
Yes, I love his work. He's great.
I was about to ask you what you thought of him. And,
I love his work.
His work on aliens in the Bible.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I really recommend people to read his books. Fantastic work. The role of aliens in the Bible, yes, they are remembered as angels. At the time, you have to imagine the humans in this part of the world. They were shorter, with darker skin. So when tall blonde ETs appear, or other races, they see them as nearly giant, like angels, and they represent them with wings. Why? Because they can fly, but in teleportation or spaceships. So and Paul Wallace talks about this really, really well. I recommend reading his books.
Yeah, and put a 1 in the chat if you want us to get Paul Wallace back on.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah, he's been on. We did a podcast with him called Aliens in the Bible, Paul Wallace. I'll put the link to it in the chat, and I'll also put it in the description box if people want to watch that one. And next question is, Karen, are the Fae from ancient tales really interdimensional beings?
They are interdensity beings. They vibrate at a higher rate. I would say fourth density, if you will. Yes, they are real. I live in Ireland and I'm seeing plenty all the time.
Oh, I didn't know you was in Ireland. Yeah, it's lovely over there, isn't it? All right, so next one.
Beautiful.
Let's have a look. Can you ask the guest if there's a firmament?
Oh, okay. Well, you've got to have one of these questions every time because people wonder. Earth is a sphere as any other planet, and a sphere with a beautiful electromagnetic field in the shape of a toroid, and space is infinite after that, totally infinite. So there is no what we call the firmament. Yes, it's a misconception.
Okay, Beverly, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, well, a firmament is associated with flat Earth for those individuals that are not aware of what firmament relates to.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly what Elena is saying. Yes, it's definitely a round sphere, and having seen it from an off-world position, it definitely is a round sphere.
Ravelon 1, Elena wants to know, will there be more volumes of the Encyclopedia Galactica?
Yes, I am working on it. I'm halfway through the volume 2. So working actively on many projects, and it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry.
Misinformation is saying, can you elaborate on inner Earth beings?
Yes. So wow, the Earth is like it's like it's a human, like a human body, but it's not a human body, of course. That means it's a solid body with in shape of a sphere with a soul inside. It's inhabited by a consciousness, a planetary consciousness, because it has a pulse, which is its electromagnetic frequency, which is the Schumann resonance. That's a pulse that has entangled a consciousness. And as you travel to the core, you go to higher density. And each layer of density are inhabited by beings, going inwards to the core of the center of the soul and outwards a little bit. You have the angelic realms also, which are part of the highest frequency of the earth etheric field of existence. When you go in the center of the earth to travel through there, you're going to go through different layers and you are going to meet civilizations. You need to shift into the layer of existence of these people, in the frequency of existence of these people. And there are indigenous creatures who are part of the original etheric realm of the earth, all sorts of animals and creatures, amazing. You have a lot of humans who have migrated in the inner earth and built cities. They were like refugees from ancient cataclysms. You have also ETs who have settled in inner earth. It's very crowded, very crowded.
Melanie, when I was about 9, I was visited in my bedroom by what looked like a human glowing and surrounded in the brightest light I've ever seen. Would this be an angel or an ET, please?
Could be both. You know, your description can be associated to both. An angel could appear like this, but an ET, if this ET is from a much higher density, could also appear like this. That's why there's often a confusion between ETs and aliens. Yeah.
Avina, are elemental star seeds from Coma Berenice? If Terra was terraformed and now seen as Earth elementals?
There are ETs from Coma Berenice star system in the Berenice constellation that are who came to Earth in a very ancient times and settled a colony that migrate to a higher frequency to inner Earth. But they still are there, they still are here, but they are not really the elementals of the Earth. They can look like them, but the elementals are original beings from the etheric planes of the Earth.
Is Enki our father?
He is. He has put a little bit of his DNA into the engineering of the Adamic bloodline. Now, the Adamic bloodline has bred and multiplied, and there are a lot of people who have this, what we call blue blood genetics. It's not the whole of the Earth, but it's a lot of people. There are two branches that have three branches. One that stayed in the Middle East, one that moved to France, and one that moved to Scotland. Why is it called blue blood genetics? Because Enki's blood is blue, is copper based. So it's a very little amount, of course, with time and generations. So our blood is red, but many of humans on Earth have these descendants.
Where did dinosaurs originally come from?
Interesting question. Dinosaurs are reptiles that have been developed and enhanced in their development by this race of alpha draconians who came to Earth several hundreds of million years ago and started to take Earth and re-terraform it to make them their planet. So they terraformed Earth as a planet fitted for reptilian life. So all the reptilian life was boosted, and they boosted it genetically. But well, as I explained earlier on, it was interfered.
Does our life path number indicate what starseed planet we are from?
Does the path number? I don't really understand the question.
Beverly, do you want to have a look at that? Does our
of
life
course.
path number?
Life path number. No, it doesn't. It's the life path number is associated with the name and the date of birth of your entry date when you came into this world. So it doesn't actually indicate your. I would say that you could potentially do another set of calculations to work out where you were star-seeded from, or you can look at your soul path and get your soul path symbols, and that might be able to show you, which are the possible planets of origin.
So, Avogadro is 4 miles from where Michael and Mary ley lines enters the North Sea. Question is it okay to go there alone? Should there be any preparation or general comments or information?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anything on that one, Beverly?
Well, the ley lines, particularly where they have some of the ancient trees, etc., where it enters any of the seas. One of the ones I went into was a ley line that was near the Great Wall of China. And I thought that was going to be a bit of a difficult one. But yes, I would say go and you should be fine.
Right. Can you say anything about Antarctica?
Mm-hmm. Well, Antarctica was for a long time occupied by what we call the Dark Fleet, the Fourth Reich. What was it? It's the Nazis, when they got rid of their leader, they had made this pact with Alpha Draconian Sikaar reptilians at the start of the Second World War. Well, these Alpha Draconians said, well, come to Antarctica where we have bases and you can settle there and we can build an empire together from there and rule over this planet. That's what they did. At the same time that happened, this migration to Antarctica, the Operation Paperclip happened. The Operation Paperclip was all the German scientists who were involved in this movement, who were transferred to the United States to be integrated into the deep state government of United States. And remember Werner von Braun, who created NASA. All these people were integrated slowly. The human societies. The Dark Fleet was this fleet of spaceships, very powerful, that was a hybrid between Alpha Draconian and these Fourth Reich people. They had shared technologies. Antarctica was liberated in 2021 from these people. And I've had actually my personal contact in McMurdo base, who could witness an exodus from German-speaking families coming from the South Pole, from out of nowhere, and going on ships to Argentina. And at the same time, you had some foreign contingents coming to Antarctica to take possession of the place. Now Antarctica is in the hands of the Earth Alliance, and I don't know exactly how things have developed there, but that's the story in short.
Right, so we're probably going to finish with Nat B's question. We're going to wait for that to come in, because we have gone over 90 minutes, and you've been very generous with your time, and I appreciate that. While we wait for Nat B's question to come in, can you tell us, Elena, what is coming up for you? Do you have some kind of seminar coming up or something? Somebody put in the chat.
Yeah, so I'm going to give my Q&A webinar, as I do every month, on on February 23rd. So it's all, you can find everything on my website. You can follow all the messages and news I bring from the Star Nations on my YouTube channel. I do an edition every Monday. Find my books there as well on my website. And I do conferences now. So I'm going to meet the lucky ones for the JSIC, Galactic and Spiritual Informer Connection in Eastbourne, East Sussex in England, on May 10 and 11, sorry. And then I'm flying to Japan for June 6th to give a conference in Tokyo, then in France in August, and then the US in September, and then probably Dubai after that. So yeah, touring the world.
Brilliant. And there's 150 unanswered questions, so we might have to get you back. And sorry, guys, we've tried to do our best, and I appreciate all your interest. But we're going to finish with Nat B's question. I get deja vu often, like replaying a movie. What causes it? I'm a spiritual person from a long line of redheads.
That explains you have psychic powers quite developed, and your genetics allows that easily. I think what we experience is a distortion of our perception of linear time, because time is not linear, and your consciousness knows it, because we are eternal beings living temporarily in mortal bodies. So sometimes you can have a spark of awareness that your consciousness, in fact, is living in the time field, not in linear time. Your body, and you are experiencing, once you incarnate, time as linear, because you are bound by gravity. Time and gravity are interacting, they are interbound. When you are on a planet with the cycles of rotation, etc., you are bound to linear time. And you had just a spark of getting out of it for a second, and you can see the past, the future, and especially the near future as one, as present. So it's like a sensation of deja vu, but it's what it is.
Fantastic. And Beverly, do you have anything to say in conclusion as well?
Yes, in conclusion, I think after all the wonderful things that has been said this evening, GSIC is going to be a fantastic event. I will be going to the GSIC event too and looking forward to it. I think also what we need to realize is that all these unusual feelings that we're having at the moment. I know there's a lot of individuals that are finding things very difficult, a lot of questions, and it is all part of the ascension and the awakening energy that we're receiving as we awaken our dormant DNA and we start becoming all that we can be. And just to let everybody know that it is normal and we will all get through it.
All right. So thanks again. Our guests' links are in the description box. They both have YouTube channels. Go down, subscribe, follow through with more questions over there, engagement, and appreciate you guys coming on. I'll let you ladies go, and I'm going to close the show and just let everybody know what's coming up in the next few days. So thank you, Elena, and thank you, Beverly. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you for all of your questions. A few questions came in off topic, and one of them was about Maggie Oliver. So Maggie Oliver is an ex-cop who broke one of the scandals. It was let me have a look real quick. Maggie, it is the Rochdale scandal. Some people get it confused with Rotherham. So Maggie Oliver broke the Rochdale scandal about these gangs in the country right now that Elon Musk has been calling out Keir Starmer for. Well, she came on the channel 5 years ago, and we interviewed her for 2.5 hours, and it got banned immediately, the video. But we've muted words, and we've got it back up because it's within community guidelines now, and it's coming back up on the channel on Wednesday. And that after that 2.5-hour video, which finishes at about 9:30, Maggie Oliver is coming on live to answer your questions. So it's going to be a huge night with Maggie Oliver on Wednesday. And let me have another quick look. I've put Paul Wallace's link to Aliens in the Bible in the description box. And then we've got Bev's back several nights this week. And I think Ron's doing Jen and Shamanic Priestess Emily are coming on tomorrow at 8 to talk about Trump, Musk, inauguration, TikTok ban, and to take your questions. Right, so loads more content coming up. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your love. And wherever you are in the world, I hope no malevolent entities or extraterrestrials are interfering in your lives and causing conflict like it's happening all around me and my friends right now. I hope you are fully protected. So